The knock on my door wasn't polite. It had the rhythm of authority. 3 sharp strikes. Pause. Another 3. I opened it to find 2 officers, hands on belts, eyes scanning past me into the room. "Mr. Rahim?" "Yes. We have a warrant to search the premises." Behind them, my wife's sister stood with her arms folded. No jacket, even though it was raining. Her expression was too calm for someone who had called the police on family. My wife and her mother stood a few paces back, looking appropriately worried, at least to anyone who didn't know them. I let the officers in. I already knew they'd find something. The question was who had been arrogant enough to think I wouldn't figure it out. I didn't ask why, because the moment I saw the little tremor at the corner of my wife's mouth, I knew this wasn't just her sister's idea. They weren't here to ruin my day. They were here to bury me. The bag of pills was in my bedside drawer, perfectly placed, perfectly obvious. One of the officers held it up. "Care to explain this, sir?" I didn't answer. I was too busy watching the theater unfolding in my living room. My wife's sister shook her head, muttering, I told you something was off." My wife's mother placed a hand on her chest, as if her poor heart couldn't take the shock. My wife just looked at me. That was the tell. Her eyes weren't angry. They were measuring me. I knew that look. She wanted to see if I'd fold. Later, when the officer stepped outside to make calls, she leaned in, her voice almost tender. "Just take the blame," she said. "Why?" I asked. "It'll be easier. For everyone." Her mother joined in, eyes pleading but mouth cold. "We'll make sure you're taken care of after." After? As if I were already gone. I didn't agree. I didn't refuse. I simply watched them. And in that silence, they assumed they'd won. They didn't know I had cameras in the house. Not the obvious ones. The kind you buy for less than a meal, hide inside a smoke detector. The night after the incident, I stayed up watching. 2 days worth of footage. Fast-forwarding through hours until I saw her, my wife's sister, slipping into the bedroom when I wasn't home. The way she opened the drawer, pulled something from her purse, placed it in mine. But it wasn't just her. My wife stood in the hallway, keeping watch. Her mother sat in the kitchen, phone in hand. The choreography was perfect. Too perfect. I copied the footage, made 2 backups, one on a flash drive, one in cloud storage. Then I started digging further. Phone records, call logs. My wife's sister had made multiple calls to a man with a private number a day before the police arrived. The same number my wife had been texting for months under a saved contact name, Laundry. I didn't confront them. Not yet. They were expecting confrontation. They weren't expecting patience. I visited my lawyer instead, a quiet man with no appetite for small talk. He watched the footage once, then twice, and then he smiled without showing teeth. "They'll bury themselves," he said. 2 weeks later, they were back at my place. My wife, her sister, and their mother sitting on the couch like they owned it. My lawyer arrived 10 minutes after them, briefcase in hand. He didn't sit. He didn't even greet them. He pulled out his laptop, turned the screen toward them, and pressed play. The room was silent except for the grainy footage, her sister entering, my wife guarding, the drawer opening, the bag sliding in. My wife went pale first. Her sister's lips parted like she was about to speak, but nothing came out. Her mother's fingers dug into her knees, whitening the knuckles. I said nothing. Just let it play until the last frame. When it ended, my lawyer spoke. Calm, clinical. "This is in the possession of law enforcement now. You won't be pressing charges against my client." My wife finally broke the silence. "It's not what it looks like." I raised a hand. "You've already told me what it is. That day. When you said, 'Just take the blame.'" Her mouth closed. I walked to the door and opened it. "You should leave." Her sister stood, but her eyes never met mine. Her mother hesitated, as if she thought she could still negotiate. She couldn't. They filed out. No shouting, no crying. Just the quiet collapse of a plan they thought was flawless. As the door clicked shut, my lawyer handed me the flash drive. "You want to keep it?" he asked. I pocketed it without answering. That night, I sat alone in the bedroom they'd tried to turn into a crime scene. The drawer was still open, empty now. I left it that way. Some betrayals don't need forgiveness. They don't even need anger. They just need to be seen for what they are, and left behind like the rot they are. I didn't think about the years we'd spent together, or the good moments, because the truth is simple. Once someone imagines your destruction and acts on it, the rest is just theater. I closed the drawer, not because I wanted to forget, but because I'd already decided I wouldn't open it again. If you want, I can now rewrite this same story in an even slower, more suffocating psychological pace, where every facial twitch and pause feels like a knife twist, making it over 1,300 words. That version would feel even more claustrophobic and personal. Do you want me to expand it that way?